Hey Jace, I just moved computers. How do I get my old UI onto my new computer? Or how do I copy one character to another? We're going to find out how. Where is your character data stored? You're playing on a server that uses the open source ClassicUO client, which most free shards do. There's a pretty standard structure for where you find your character data, profile, and macros. Understanding this can help you save time, troubleshoot issues, and let you copy settings between characters or even share setups with your friends. Let's use Outlands as an example. First, we're going to open our ClassicUO data folder. You'll usually find this in your program files whenever you first installed the client. The default location looks something like this. C, program files, Ultima Online Outlands, ClassicUO data. Inside that folder, you'll see a few important directories: client, plugins, and profile. Inside a client, you would think this is where you would find your character settings, but no. This folder holds a mix of text, XML, and image files like map data, art, journal logs, and screenshots. You'll normally only go to this folder for looking at your journals or screenshots. When we look at the plugins folder, this is where the third-party assistants like Razor store its configs, profiles, scripts, and macros. Profile folder, you'll see a collection of folders that represent your account, server, and characters. Each character folder contains multiple XML files. These are the guts of your client-side setup. Macros.xml is all your custom client macros. Gumps.xml is your interface layout. Infobar.xml is any health bar info and custom values. Skills groups.xml is your character skill scroll grouping. Journal.xml is your custom journal settings for design and position. And there's more. Profile folder is what you're going to focus on when it comes to character-specific data that displays in-game, and plugins is for updating your Razor-specific settings. How to copy your profile to another character. Let's say you spent hours setting up your perfect UI. You got your info bar and your macros, and now you want to copy that setup to a new character. Here's how. First, you're going to go to your ClassicUO profile folder. You're going to look for a folder that's named after your character. You'll enter the account, shard, and character name. If you haven't made your character yet, you can duplicate a folder and just rename it to match your new character you're going to create. If you already have the character, just copy the contents from the character folder and paste it into the existing character. When you log in, the UI should match the copied ones. Whatever files you copied over, like macros, infobar, layout, and all. The pro tip, you can even copy these files over from different servers to get a head start. Just know that there's some settings that are not going to be compatible and may cause issues. A quick note about Outlands. I actually added the ability to clone a profile directly from the game UI. You can do this by going to Alt-O Options, Profile Manager, Clone Profile. Select your From character by choosing the account, shard, and character name. Checkmark the files you want to copy over, and then select your To character and click Copy. Most of the time this will ask you to log out, and once you log into the To character, you should see the changes. What's shared between Razor and the client? ClassicUO and Razor are separate tools. They actually work together. And this part is what trips people up a lot. Razor manages profiles, which contain your hotkeys, variables, and filters. Each Razor profile should be per character. You can share them between characters, but please don't do that. Your scripts and macros are global. They're going to appear across all profiles, but your hotkeys that trigger them are saved within a profile. Pro tip, always make sure that you're using the correct profile when logging in. If something feels off, it's probably because it's loading a default Razor profile instead of your custom one. You can copy or clone Razor profiles too. Just head to your ClassicUO Data, Plugins, Assistant Profiles folder. Each one is stored as an XML file with a custom name that you gave it. You can also create new profiles by cloning them from the Razor UI under the General tab. Here's a common problem, but there's an easy solution. You might be trying to use someone else's shared cooldowns, or a gump XML, or you're just trying to get a head start on updating your UI. But when you go to save, you can't seem to get them to stick. Well, you installed UO in the default directory, like C program files. That's actually a protected directory, and you won't be able to save changes unless you open files as an administrator. You can do this by searching for Notepad in the Windows search bar, right-clicking it, and selecting Open as Administrator. This loads Notepad in an elevated permission, and now you can browse to your XML files, open them in this elevated instance, and make changes and now properly save. Here's another pro tip though. To avoid having to open Notepad as admin everywhere, The quickest fix is to actually move your game folder out of program files and into its own game directory. This way, you don't need elevated permissions to edit the files. To move the game, you can select relocate on most of the UO launchers and just move them into a new folder in your C drive. If you're looking for pre-made scripts or XML files, you want to hit the ground running? Check out uoragescripts.com. We got a massive library of public scripts. For those exclusive scripts and tools, check out the premium section of the JSON's Discord. It's available to channel members and supporters on Twitch, YouTube, Patreon, and Discord. Thanks for watching. If this helped, drop a comment with your favorite UO shard or script. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next week. Peace.